to the semi-final. We'll just be seeing the brackets of and Javelin in their initial match played against Supersan, and it was an exciting match as there was penalties, high scoring penalties, I would say. I think it was 16 to 15, and it was 2 goals all. So Javelin had quite an interesting quarterfinal there, and St. Mary's against New Star managed to win 2-1 as well. So on the left hand side of the bracket, that is the situation, but on the right hand side later on in the evening today, we have Serendip and Saunders playing. Serendip managing to win against Sri Lanka Police, scoring 2 late goals, and also Saunders and Solid playing. Saunders winning pretty comfortably. So quite exciting to see how the final will shape up. But today, the first semi-final here at the Racecourse International Stadium, and quite a lot of channels for you all to watch this live broadcast on. And Javelin and St. Mary's will give it their all, as silverware is on everyone's mind, be it the players, be it the coaches and the team as well. That is the ultimate goal. So just go through the formalities now, where we see the FIFA flag come out, and then the teams walk out as well, and the officials. So always when you walk onto that pitch, you walk with pride, you walk with courage, and you walk making sure that you give it your all on that pitch, and walk off with your head held high. And you can see Javelin are clad in white and grey, and St. Mary's are clad in all green. So do make sure that you log in to these live telecasts, and make sure you watch. Especially Javelin will be heading into this game with quite a lot of confidence, even though they had a small hiccup against Supersan, where they went to penalties. Mind you, Supersan is a strong team, even though they were not in the Super 8s. So Javelin managing to win against Supersan is a morale boost for them, I would say. And now just going through the formalities and the team photos, and we will then see the commencement of this game in a couple of minutes. Now the captains will go for that toss, which goal and which side to kick from or pick, and that'll set the tone for both teams. And it is almost 5 p.m. on our clock, so something that's great to see is we've seen all the matches start on time right across these tournaments, and it's great to see. And Javelin will be kicking from right to left, and St. Mary's will be kicking from left to right. And this is the St. Mary's team card. Mithunsan, Lawyers, Nithasan, the captain, Jerinson, Marianson, Gumbari, Mativatanan, Arinkan, Rubanraj, Lavani, and Metabo. So those are the 11 players, along with their head coach Ratnam Julsmin. So quite a strong lineup for St. Mary's as well, especially with Metabo and Lavani, who are key players for them. And this is the Javelin team card. Rajavansha, Farik, Fernando Sumudu, Azad, Rizkan, Alim, Olawale, Abishan, Bernard, and Asfaq Ayub, the goalkeeper, to round up the 11 players. And also their head coach Nazar Hamid, especially Harshan Sumudu, the captain, has been a key player for them, leading from the front, and he will make sure, want to ensure that his team gets the victory here today at the Racecourse International Stadium. And just about to commence this first semi-final between Javelin and St. Mary's of the Champions Cup, hosted by the Sri Lanka Football Federation. And We are off. And like we've seen majority of the time, teams do tend to lose their way in the first couple of minutes in terms of gaining position and getting control of the game. And teams will have to hash it out a bit. But the team that manages to get control in the first few minutes, I would say the first 5 minutes, after the first 5 minutes, if you manage to get control and flow of the game, you will make sure that you get that first goal quickly. First 20 minutes is important for these two teams. If you get a goal in that first quarter, you'll definitely have the upper hand. Now St. Mary's with an attacking opportunity right off in the first minute, but Sfaq Ayub up to the task, manages to come off his line. He's had a stellar season right across the Champions League and the Super 8s, and now the Champions Cup as well. And now cross into the box, but cleared away very easily by the defense. But second opportunity now, the ball falls kindly for Lavale. Farid puts the ball into the box. Big boot, and now Javale will have to reset, but this is what you'll see in the first couple of minutes. And joining me up in the com box is none other than the experienced and a veteran in the Sri Lanka football circuit. Navud, good evening to you.
Good evening, Randeep. Good evening to everyone joining in on Supreme TV, Sri Lanka Football TV, and on the Papare. The first of the two semi-finals. Javelin against St. Mary's. Mary's in their all green, Javelin in their white and grey. Javelin, of course, coming off that marathon penalty shootout.
Madison able to win a corner for St. Mary's. So first attacking opportunity in this game and the first corner as well. An early goal will definitely be vital for St. Mary's. Apologies, I just gone before the corner line, so it will be a throw-in. Nevertheless, still a long throw-in, so targeting the men in the box. And did manage to get some contact in the box, but taken on the volley. And, the officials for today's game: referee Taranga Pushpakumara, assistant referee Buddhika Dias, assistant referee Asel Sirivardhana, and the fourth official Asif Askar. So Taranga Pushpakumara will be taking the reins of today's game. And we've seen quite a tense couple of matches in the quarterfinals, so we'll expect nothing less in the semi-finals as well. Now, good ball, and managing to find Oluwale now, trying to take the shot off, trying to dance around a couple of players, but straight into the defense. Showing a bit of frustration there is Oluwale. Not happy with the support that he received. Now Lavani for St. Mary's. It's also been a key figure for them. The cross into the box, but no one to meet that. Only one player in the box at that time. And given away position now. Now Farik to Alim. Alim looking for Rizkan on the left, but St. Mary's players seem to gone down. Might have been a bit of contact with Uluwale, that is Mathivatanan, who's on the ground at the moment. It's been a great couple of weeks for Sri Lanka football, with the youngsters winning as well, and now Sri Lanka winning against Chinese Taipei as well, and it will help their rankings as they won against a higher team, if I'm not mistaken. So always great to see that Sri Lanka football is going from strength to strength. At the moment, St. Mary's on the left. Bit of a scuffed pass into the box and able to clear the lines. And now an opportunity, but short wide. I'm not too sure if there was a deflection or not. By the reactions of the players, I think it was a short wide. He was definitely in a prime position. The goalkeeper was a bit blinded with the defense as well. Some Edison just not managing to get the direction right a bit. Unfortunately for St. Mary's, that's a chance gone begging for them. An early lead would have definitely helped them. 7 minutes into the game, and we'll see St. Mary's with a couple of opportunities now. So put in the pressure on Javelin.
A stop in play as Midusan gets some attention, but we are all ready to get underway. Here's Bernard, unable to control it, goes out for a goal kick.
Bernard and Uluwale, the duo up front for Javelin. They are lethal when it comes to counter attacks and also when it comes to shots in front of goal, especially Bernard. So St. Mary's will not be able to switch off in defense. They always have to be on high alert. Now lovely pass around the defense, but up to the task. The corner now for St. Mary's.
Not where he intended to clear Azad. Mary's gets a corner. They've been the better side in this first 10 minutes or so. Ball cleared away, but here's a Nidarshan, takes a shot through a maze of players. St. Mary's skipper Mariadas Nidarshan gives the team from Jaffna the lead against Javelin.
Off the rebound in that corner and managing to set it up nicely for him. Took his time and managing to get around that white wall of players. Pretty difficult for Asfaq 5 on that bounce. So again here, sets it up beautifully on his right foot and manages to get through that maze of players. Asfaq Ayub can do nothing as that is in the left bottom corner. That is the goal that St. Mary's were looking for, and definitely want to carry this momentum and make sure that they do not give Javelin a sniff on goal, even like they've done in the past 10 minutes. Azad to Alim. Alim puts it into the open space, and now Javelin almost reacting back with a goal of their own. Not be a smooth sailing for St. Mary's, as the attacking duo from Javelin will not keep quiet. They'll look for those runs, and they'll look to get behind the defense and find those passes from the midfield. And actually I thought it was a throw-in for St. Mary's, but Javelin have been dispossessed now through Lavani. Again, good fight for position, and Javelin comes out on top in that tussle. There is Khan. Looking for Bernard in the box, but unfortunately defense deals with it pretty easily, and Lavani now surrounded by a couple of players and brought down, so it'll be a foul in favor of St. Mary's. So again, just a bit of a shove there, but now Lavani lays it off into the box, and now a shot taken off, but just wide. Well, St. Mary's seem to be creating quite a lot of opportunities here. Jerinson also on the left, very threatening, and once he's allowed to find a bit of space, he will cut back and make sure he takes a shot on his own. But now another corner for St. Mary's. Sakayub also trying to come up to that ball, but cleared away smartly by Javelin defense. And long cross into the box, and that is a missed opportunity by Lavani. He was definitely onside. Trying to go on that volley. I think he did a bit too much there. Asagayub reading the height of the ball a bit too wrong, and almost presenting another opportunity for St. Mary's. So Javelin looking a bit shaky in defense, once again giving away position. Lavani not the best of touches there, and now Javelin through. Quite a wayward shot there by Rizkan, but I think he had to take it. Definitely. An opportunity to take that volley, but touch to the right, and again resetting would have been ideal as well. But now Javelin wouldn't want St. Mary's to get that second goal, as he did see Lavani miss out on an opportunity. Gumbari, the left. Lavani and Marison in the middle, manages to get around one, puts it into the box, and Lavani not timing his jump right, and the ball just goes over him. St. Mary is always managing to get the ball into the box, finding a couple of crosses in. So Javelin will have to be careful, but now Bernard. Full of rollovers, but dealt easily, so it'll be a throw in now. So John Lawyers managed to catch Bernard. Little bit of a dramatic fall there by Derek Fernando, but all good. It'll be a goal kick. Alim.
St. Mary's haven't allowed Javelin to settle into this game. They've had possession, Javelin, but mostly in their own half. None too threatening in the attack in third. Here's Derek Fernando to Alim. Azad. Rajavansha back to Alim. Looks a very compact St. Mary's side in defense. Forcing that mistake. Harshana Sumudu to Olawale. Here's Rizkan Faiza. Releases Olawale on that right. Sumudu with that cross in, easily dealt with by Midunsan. Referee Taranga Pushpakumara brings back play for foul on Danjuma Gumbari. Alim getting the heel of Gumbari.
Throw in now for St. Mary's. The long throw in like we always see, but Javelin managed to come on top. Just a bit of concern in terms of position there, but they managed to recover. And not the pass you want to see when there is no one to make that run or receive it. So now St. Mary's will be able to create an opportunity. Now there is another foul in favor of them. Referee Shukumara points to the spot. So now the couple of corners and now another free kick here as well. Even though Java Lane has had most of the possession, St. Mary's have managed to create more opportunities. And once again, just that struggle there. Maybe the studs on the shin. Oh, it doesn't. Ball into the box. Quite far out wide, and Kumbari trying to meet that header. Manages to get the height, but not enough pace on that ball to direct it easily. So Metabo tried to find Kumbari there. A bit of a slip, so St. Mary's fortunate enough to win a throw in there. So 22 minutes now on our clock, and both teams have settled down a bit, but in terms of position, I think it's Java Lane who have managed to gain control, but Kumbari now manages to break through a couple of players. Plays it to Lavani makes the turn, but quite a number of white shirts in there to block that shot. Kumbari on that left hand side has been able to skip past a couple of players numerous times now and get into the box and make that last pass. Unfortunately, shots that have been taken, Lavani now 2 chances he's had to get that second goal for St. Mary's. It is a poor day here, and people who normally go to work on a Wednesday have the opportunity to come and watch a football match, which is nice to see. So now bit of a slight risk in that pass, but Onikan manages to deal with it, and back now with Derek Fernando to Alim. Abhishan to Derek. Rajavancha. Farik. Derek Fernando has been the man to create quite a lot of plays as well. He's been orchestrating that midfield quite well for Java Lane. We've seen time and time again with those passes that he tried to attempt now as well. He's managed to find Ulwale time again, but now Kumbari, it's again on the ball. The ball seems to be finding him every time. Now Lavani managing to gain position again. Looking for Madison down on the right. Abhishan is the man to be responsible for Madison, marking him. So I was wondering why the throw-in was not taken quickly, as he was free. Now clouded by the 3 white jerseys. It's again a strong challenge, and bit of a high intense situation. Bernard seems to be telling the referee he did not do anything, and not what you want to see. Once again, this is the replay at a strong challenge there. Bernard jumping quite high, falls on the back of Mativatanan and gets up again. And, not what you want to see. Wonder what referee Pushpakumara will do here. We do prefer all 11 players from both teams on the field. I highly doubt it will be any sort of card, but strong warning will have to be given to Bernard, and a card has been given to Mativatanan. I think he did play a bit of footy there in terms of when Bernard was walking away. So Bernard also has been called. I think it will be a warning or a yellow card. We'll have to wait and see. Definitely a card for Mativatanan, and Bernard has been given a warning. I think not the best way he reacted, but I definitely thought that he was just trying to prove the point that he was not the man at fault there, as Mativatanan did just get a slight nudge there. 27 minutes and we see the first yellow card of the game. Azad looking for Oluwale, and ball falls for Bernard. Shot taken, but I think has been contact between Oluwale and Anikan. Seems to be in quite a lot of pain there. But lovely ball in from Azad, managing to find Oluwale. Just bounce a bit too high. Yes, Oluwale did get his boot in Anikan's face, so definitely will be painful.
The youngster Anikan putting his body on the line for St. Mary's. Favorable conditions here at Racecourse International Stadium for the two teams, with the revised kickoff times. Usually we had the 4 p.m. Today we are starting at 5, and the second semi-final at 9. Pfizer, the poor pass, allowing St. Mary's to go on the break. All into the box. Good work by Rizkan Pfizer, tracking back to block that effort. Looping ball at the best of deliveries. Pfizer once again. Again passing to an opponent. Lovale. Again unnecessary from Asel Rajvansha, giving away a nothing free kick. Danjuma Gumbari was surrounded by 3 or 4 javelin players, going nowhere. That foul allows St. Mary's to put this ball into the box. 32 minutes gone in this first semi-final of the Champions Cup. And St. Mary's have been by far the better side.
Once again, St. Mary's have managed to intercept Javelin's passes quite often now, but now opportunity. Edison trying to lay it off, and a lovely back heel to Lavani. Lavani trying to take a shot off, but not being able to get the connection he needed. Again now St. Mary's from the back, looking for the man up front, Madison. Seems to be a bit of boot contact on the head, but I think not be a foul, as was nothing much in that. So another throw in again in the same area. We've seen a couple of throw-ins for St. Mary's. That long throw-in tactic that we always see. But, this time a different approach. Bit of a shot held up there, and not the best of touches. Nevertheless, shot taken off and just above the goalkeeper. So Akayub had to reach for that. Does John Lewis managed to get around Eric Fernando and take that shot off? Just going over the bar was that shot, and it'll be a corner. Just slightly over 10 minutes more of regular time in this half, and St. Mary's have been the better of the two sides in creating opportunities in front of goal. Once again, Lavani not being able to meet that header and bringing down Javelin defender as well. So it will be free kick in favor of them. That is Captain Harsh and Sumudu. So Lavani's left hand banging into the head of Sumudu. So restart from their own goal. And an unfortunate handball there. So now Javelin presented an opportunity. And we've seen a couple of free kicks taken from distance. Something we've seen right throughout this Football Champions League Super 8 and also the Champions Cup, but this might be slightly a bit too far for Alim. I'm not too sure whether you can hear it, but quite a loud crowd support for Javelin, and dinked into the box, but 3 St. Mary's players outside. But Lavani managing to get it off to Gumbari. Gumbari stopped in his tracks. Decides to switch up play onto the right hand side, and a bit of a desperate attempt by Abhishan. Just gives away position there, not capitalizing on the opportunity. Not much of support for him, but now Bernard with his long legs makes a long run onto the left hand side. Stopped in his tracks though, trying to get a cross in. Still marked very well by the St. Mary's defender, and now Rajavangsha, not too sure what he was trying to do there, looking for the man on the right. At direction of the pass not the greatest, so that attack dies down. Javelin spirited attempt. Alim to Farik. Now captain looking for Luale, but pass not going through. Again looks for Bernard. Bernard will manage to get to the ball. Bit of support from Arshana. And Rick Fernando looking for that pass, trying to find Oluwale there in the box. Right idea, but Metabo up to the task as well. So St. Mary's defense has done very well to contain Javelin in this first half. Almost 39 minutes on the clock now, and Javelin have not managed to get a proper shot on target. Luale managing to get around, but loses out on position. Outside the boot pass, and ball will be booted away back to Javelin's half, so they'll have to build back up from there. We've seen them have position, but it's in their own half most of the time. Now Alim looking for Abhishan, but the ball definitely has too much power on it, and St. Mary's now will have a throw in. Cleared away by Azad. Defensive line for Javelin is not a shabby defensive line as well, as they have Abhishan, Azad, who are on the left, very good in marking the man, but the moment Lavani, surrounded by 2 players, manages to get the pass off, and Dasan gets the ball into the box, but unfortunately no one there for support. Still allow Javelin to build from the right, but time and time again we've seen inaccurate passes. Not waiting on the ball a bit more and looking for an accurate pass, just looking to get off the ball quickly rather than looking for a couple of options. Now Javelin, Oluwale to Derek Fernando. Will Metabo get to the ball first? Yes, he does, and it will be a corner if I'm not mistaken. Actually, assistant referee says that Derek Fernando was the last man on the ball. It does seem to think that Metafor got the last touch. Maybe the ball did get the last touch of Eric Fernando. Goal kick for St. Mary's. And 4 minutes of regular time with maybe a couple of minutes of added time as well. So St. Mary's will want to hold on to this lead heading into the break, and will want to make sure that they maintain this composure coming into the second half as well. As we've seen, Javelin quite a spirited team in the second half. Now looking for Bernard. Bernard manages to get a bit of pressure and loses out on position, and now Lavani trying to find Marison, and will this be an opportunity? Yes, it will be, and takes a shot off, but very well cleared off the line. Azad tracking back and managing to cover his goalkeeper as well. Marison's touch there definitely good to do Paswakayu, but just a bit too wide there, and Azad doing very well to clear that ball. Saved his side heading into the first half with 2 goals down.
Azad making up for his earlier mistake of not shepherding that ball for Ashfaq Ayub. Does well to clear that ball off the line.
And intentional, looking for that volley was John Lewis, and he seems to have injured himself. Hopefully nothing too serious. Seems to be in a bit of discomfort after that shot, but back up on his feet. Taken shot, and Javelin now will want to be the team that spoils the party for St. Mary's in getting that goal at the end of the first half. And just loses out in terms of footing and on the ball as well. Mason, he's been alive up front for St. Mary's, and he want to make sure that he finishes the opportunities he gets, as missed out as well. Now Alim back to Azad. Azad raise the ball forward a bit and manages to find Abhishan, and now Abhishan on the left foot, long ball into the box, and Oluwale almost meeting that ball, and Anikan just a bit of contact there with Oluwale again. Did have a knock earlier on the head, and once again he seems to be holding his face now. At high ball in, and Oluwale trying to meet that ball as well. And 45 minutes almost up on our clock, and just have to wait and see if we'll have added time. Yes, it'll be 4 minutes of added time. So still quite a lot of football to come in 4 minutes. Javelin still have a chance to get that leveling goal. Anikan seems to be okay, and will resume play. just joining us, this is the first semi-final of the Champions Cup. And I was just about to say Gumbari would have been offside there. Yes, this is the first semi-final of the Champions Cup. And it's between Java Lane and St. Mary's. And we do have another semi-final coming up in the evening as well. Actually in the night at 9 p.m. So do stay tuned as these four teams are battling it out for glory. Java Lane winning on penalties in their quarterfinal, and St. Mary's managing to win in regular time. So both teams heading into this game will want to say that they are level in terms of quality. And Alim almost dispossessed. Lavani, bit of a press from him, and now Gumbari shifted to the right. Shot taken, but nothing coming off of that, and now Gumbari brings the ball down pretty easily. Cuts back in and takes a shot off his left foot. And Ashfaq Ayub, yes, Gumbari has definitely created multiple opportunities for St. Mary's. Played on the left earlier on, right throughout this half, and just the last couple of minutes has shifted to the right. Dawson taking the shot off, and Gumbari managing to dupe Abhishan, managing to get around Azad as well, and Ashfaq Ayub managing to close that gap in on the right hand side post. So might be the last opportunity for St. Mary's if they want to get that second goal and have a cushion in this first semi-final. Itasan puts the ball in and peeped over by Ashfaq Ayub. It's another chance for them. But unfortunately, they lose out on position. And Javelin are quick to get rid of that ball from their own half back to St. Mary's half. So just under a minute now in this half. And those 45 minutes have been St. Mary's. They've managed to have honours in terms of opportunities created and even control. They've managed to dictate terms in that final third. And Lavani will feel a bit disappointed in himself, as it was an easy opportunity for him to get that second goal. Now Lavani, back to him again, manages to get that ball away, but not to his own player, and that will be referee Pushpakumar's whistle to bring the end to this first half. It's been an entertaining one in terms of a little bit of drama here and there, but so far it's been St. Mary's who's been on top. And Lavani and Chris Khan is on your screen earlier. They are important players, and Marison, who's been quite energetic up front for the team in green. And the halftime score reads 1-0 in favour of St. Mary's. This is the first semi-final of the Champions Cup, so 45 minutes more of play to come. These are the highlights of the first half. First opportunity almost created for Marison there. And Gumbari, who's been the man to create quite a lot of chances for the team in green. At Nithasan taking the shot off from distance. That was quite a goal and a statement as captain. And he will want to make sure that he carries his team forward to the final. And once again, that's the opportunity that I said Lavani missed out on. That second goal should have been scored. But as you can see in the highlights, it's all for now. The amount of chances that St. Mary's have had to score goals. It was the yellow card incident, but it's been St. Mary's who have managed to get quite a lot of opportunities in that final third. Get into the box, get a couple of passes and crosses into the box as well. And another close call there. And this one where Madison managed to get around Ashfaq Ayub and Azad managing to save his team just by the barest of margins. So St. Mary's has been the dominant team so far. Once again, Gumbari, who's been, in my opinion, the star player in the first half. So we'll just go for a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere as we'll be bringing you live action of the second half of the Champions Cup.
Champions League एक हाथ गैस में हैंगुमन किक पे जब नरमने भाग दुलने भीदी दस्ते गोल एक गन्ना इसी सरसने समरों बिन्ने साथ देने We are one game, one heart. One game, one heart, Champions League. This is where we start. Together we dream, together we fight. We are the champions. That we defend. மரங்கள் கிக்க ஆகாமே களத்தில் உறுதியாய் மின்னவும் நாமே நாமே சாம்பியன்ஸ் லீக் வரவே உணர்வதற்கு தருமே Cheer kai kemak denne kollo set ekama ek wenne goal eකට kick එක denne Champions League mein aramenne Champions League, satanai aramenne, denne, jayaganne, ek seenata apiyanne. One game, one heart, Champions League where dreams take part. Raise your flags, feel the art. One game, one heart. One dream, one star. One game, one heart. Champions League, forever we play. The spirit of
Champions League. Powered by TV Supreme.
Welcome back to the second half of the first semi-final between Java Lane and St. Mary's in this Champions Cup, and we've just started, and if you did miss the first half, St. Mary's managed to get their first goal and held out Java Lane's quite a commanding attack in terms of Olawale and Bernard, who have not managed to get any sort of a sniff on goal. St. Mary's have managed to create quite a number of opportunities, and they will want to make sure that they have that grip they had in the first half in the second half as well. If they do manage to stay calm and composed, they'll be able to get the victory in this semi-final. And kicking right to left of your screen is St. Mary's, and left to right of your screen is Java Lane in the white team, and St. Mary's in the green team. All the live action can be caught on the Supreme TV, the Sri Lanka football channel as well, and the Papare. So quite a lot of viewing platforms for everyone joining the Champions Cup. And now Olawale on the left, very strong and very physical. He is very difficult to deal with and lays it off. An opportunity, but just a bit lackluster when it came to controlling that ball, but good pressure in terms of defense by St. Mary's. Arshana Sumudu lays it off to Olawale, and that was the chance for Java Lane to go level, and foul has been committed as well. But once again, Bernard, no look pass to Harshana Subudu. Lovely ball in, and Olawale, great contact as well. But just hitting that crossbar, unfortunately for him. And a foul by Lavani on Derek Fernando brings about a free kick in an area, I would say, that is up Java Lane's avenue. And now, all of a sudden, just 2 minutes into this half, and Java Lane have had a shot on target and put St. Mary's on the back foot. This is not the start that St. Mary's would have liked. They'll be hoping that they can get on top in terms of not letting this free kick in. Because if Java Lane manage to draw level here early on in the second half, they'll be back to square one, St. Mary's, and they'll have to again score another goal to get that lead. Now straight into the wall, Azad, and now Alim looking for Olawale. Olawale manages to get on ball and is brought down, shouts for penalty, and Olawale does not seem to be happy at all. Seems to be a bit of a shirt pull there, he says, but don't think that should be called a penalty. Once again here, Olawale, Nidarshan, quite a lot of pressure on him. Yes, don't think there was any sort of a penalty there. So, good call by referee Pushpa Kumara. And now corner. It's again a bit of a contact there by Bernard. And St. Mary's, think are quite fortunate to come out of that ordeal without letting a goal go through. It's important for St. Mary's to not lose the confidence they had in the first half. They were definitely the team that was on top right throughout the first half. Java Lane did have a bit of bursts in between, but other than that, it was St. Mary's who was on top. But now Derek Fernando, it's again looking for Bernard on the right. Not being able to get that pass through, and Farik quickly takes the throw in. So Java Lane now, the team on top, and once again Bernard has been brought down, and line referee quick on to that scene. As you can see again, quite a bit of defensive pressure there. Bernard's hand was pretty wavered there, but two players bringing down kind of like a rugby tackle there, if I would say. Ruben Raj bringing down Bernard. Interesting to see a game of football where the player commits making a tackle with both hands. Now another opportunity. The ball goes straight in, almost to the goal, catching Anikan off guard there. But now Gumbari on the ball, brought down by Derek Fernando. So that will be a free kick in terms of St. Mary's. We've seen a couple of unnecessary challenges, if I would say. Once again here, Derek Fernando just pulling Gumbari back. It's not what you want to see in terms of discipline. I think this is what we've had a couple of conversation off air and right throughout the weeks as well, in terms of the discipline that we've seen so far in this couple of weeks in terms of the Sri Lanka Football Champions League, Super 8s. If you manage to correct that a bit more, I think these quality in terms of the leagues that we've seen so far will go higher and higher. But now very well dealt with there by Farik, after Gumbari managing to get a touch on that ball. Manages to disperse his Harshana Sumudu. Fortunately loses his footing. Now Hitarsan looking for Lavani. Great idea, but execution not the best. Now Halim. Can see the man on your screen, Bernard. He's been the ace for Java Lane, and he'll want to make sure that in front of goal he comes off right today. Otherwise it's the end of the journey for Java Lane in this Champions Cup. The referee Pushpa Pukara calls for a foul. Not too sure whether it was a handball or just a foul committed by Madison. And now Hazard on the dead ball. Dealt with pretty easily by Nitharsan. And now ball laid off by Bernard. Uluwale not in the box. Bernard seems to be a bit frustrated with the fact that Uluwale was not up there for support. Once again, quick throw in taken. Uluwale trying to win a corner, but surrounded by three green shirts. Quick throw in once again. Uluwale puts the cross into the box, and a volley taken. Great connection as well. Just the direction not working out. Again, Uluwale puts the ball into the box. Great connection, but definitely if he managed to get it a bit more inwards, Anigan would not be able to do anything about that shot, as it was quite a good connection. Once again, St. Mary's leaving dangerously in these first 10 minutes. We've had 10 minutes and it's felt like it's been a Java Lane all along so far. Just a bit of a illogical pass there. Expecting the run to be made quite early. Player overlapping would find it very difficult to get around that ball. But now on the right for St. Mary's is Marison, and it will be a throw in. So a throw in one in quite a dangerous position, and not enough space to get that long run up you need to throw the ball into the box. So you'll need a man who's very powerful to get that throw in, or a short one taken as well, trying to get that pass straight to the man. And now Javelin looking to build from the back, and ball will fall for Uluwale. Not taking that touch first time. Waiting for the ball to bounce a couple of more times and then manages to take. Looking for Bernard. So that pass not going through. And Farik asking for the ball, lifting both his hands. He is open in an open space. He can make that run on the right. And now ball straight, looking for Rizkan. Accuracy lacking a bit. So Javelin still on the ball at the moment, and they will look to make sure that they build. But I think that is a little bit of a commentator's jinx there. And St. Mary's have managed to recover position, and now Nitharsan, the goal scorer for St. Mary's. Even though Javelin have had quite a lot of opportunities, they haven't got that important goal to go level. Long throw in taken to the box, and Lavani is saying that he was not the one who got the last touch. But referees say otherwise, and quickly taken the goal kick, given straight to the St. Mary's man, and they will look to build on that mistake. Ball put into the box, and unfortunately a bit overcooked there. Gumbari will not be able to reach that ball, and Asfaq Ayub, who has been a premier goalkeeper right throughout the season so far, will not be easily undone by a pass like that. Let's kick on his feet is Marison, putting a lot of pressure on the Javelin defender, and will it be a corner? I think it will be a foul in favor of Javelin, as Marison did have a bit of a shove there. Uluwale having to reach for that ball. Pass not the best once again. Alim. The passes passing have not been of the quality we've seen from Javelin. And once again Gumbari brought down bit of what we would say when we used to play football for fun. A little bit of a Neymar role there. And referee Pushpa Kumar having nothing of it. And Javelin will retain position. Great touch there. Not easy to always get your first touches right. Seen time and time again players mess up with that first touch. Now Gumbari finds Lavani. Lavani lays it off to Jerinson. Jerinson looking for Marison. Marison brings it down and almost getting that opportunity. Managed to bring it down with his chest. Not the easiest of balls to bring down. Think he just loses his footing a bit and falls down once again. Jerinson here there. Marison managed to bring that. Yes, he does lose his footing a bit, fortunately. So nevertheless manages to win his team a corner. John Lewis with his left foot. Got put into the box, unfortunately. Forced to Kumbari, but Kumbari not being able to sort his feet out there. And now Oluwale, counter attack. Bernard making that run, but Oluwale was a bit surrounded. And Oluwale brought down. So we've seen a couple of fouls in the second half, and it's been quite frequent as well. Stop-start play seen here, and once again switch in play, looking for Farik on the right hand side. And it's just to find Derek Fernando, and now Derek Fernando trying to get that ball into the box. Overcooked that pass a bit, but it'll be a throw in. The shot from distance, nothing coming off of it, but Javelin so far in the 62nd minute now, they've been the team who has dominated proceedings here. It's a completely different game from the first half. St. Mary's was all over the place in a good way, I would say, because they were dominating proceedings in terms of in that final third, making sure they get shots off, creating opportunities, putting Javelin under pressure. But now Javelin returning the favor, and additionally they have also managed to have possession, which St. Mary's didn't have the biggest percentage in possession, and I think it might have been a bit might have been shared there. But now Javelin managing to put a bit of pressure, but that's not the pass you need, Farik.
Javelin came close to an equalizer just minutes into that first half. After the ball bounced off that crossbar. Madison has had a good game for St. Mary's, almost scoring that second just before half time. Javelin guilty of not stretching this compact St. Mary's defense. Again a hopeful ball into the box, comfortably dealt with by Anikan. Hazard, Bernard, losers position against Danjuma Gumbari. Yes, St. Mary's dispossessed. Referee stops play with 2 balls in the park.
Farik looking for that long ball actually. Straight to Anikan. Very lucky to get away with that. Was Abhishar almost gifting the ball to Lavani. So Lavani has not been, I think, not his best day in front. He's missed quite a lot of opportunities, and now Uluwale has been brought down. Now, good ball by Lavani to Gumbari. Gumbari tries to take the shot first time, but too high. St. Mary's won't mind the fact that even if Javelin do have position most of the time, as long as they manage to cut that attack in the final third, make sure that there is no goal scored. But we do have the first substitution in the game. Javelin, some number 12 Muhammad Yasir comes in for Muhammad Alim. Alim who's had a quiet game. Normally you do see him create a couple of opportunities. Seems to be a slight issue. Referee Pushpa Kumar not too sure what's going on. Well, brief interruption, but resume play. 67 minutes on our clock. 23 minutes of regular time. And with that, we'll have added time as well. And that will be the situation of the first semi-final at the moment. But quite an audacious shot again. So Javelin also taking shots from distance. Looking slightly desperate now. They know that a goal won't be enough to get the victory. The referee Pushpa Kumara has given a yellow card to Anikan. It was for carrying the ball out of this box, if I'm not wrong. So it was a goal kick. Well, second half also has seen quite a lot of interruptions in terms of fouls. And even we did see a couple of minutes ago as well, referee Pushpa Kumar addressing something. So it's been a little bit of a stop-start situation. The game has not really flowed. But Javelin, irrespective of all, has a man. But now Lavani managing to find Gumbari. Gumbari did have an opportunity to get that pass off to Madison, and he lays it off to Lavani. Lavani takes the shot off at too much elevation there. I think if Gumbari managed to get that first pass, pass first time to Madison. Madison was in the open. Lavani managing to thread the needle and find those difficult passes to Gumbari and Derek Fernando. Not managing to sync with Farik on the right. Loyas to Jerinson. Ball to Lavani, trying to find Lavani actually. Easily dealt with. And back to the defensive line of St. Mary's. It'll be a throw in now. And Uluwale doing very well to hold his ground there. Getting around one player. Number of players in the box. But decides to catch the goalkeeper off guard and sneak the ball through that right bottom corner. Not easy to get around Anikan. Once again, 2 players down from both teams. And Bernard not sure whether it's just a cramp. The players will also take this opportunity to get a drinks break. Even though it is 6:30 here at the Racecourse International Stadium, it is still very humid. Hottest couple of weeks for Sri Lanka. So this is the bracket at the moment. This is Java Lane and St. Mary's. They're playing the first semi-final, but in the night again, Serendip and Saunders will play the second semi-final. So the winners will move on to the final. But Java Lane against Super Sun did stutter a bit in terms of almost losing out. Super Sun, even though they were not in the Super, is a strong team. Unfortunately, they missed out. And Saunders managing to comfortably win against Solid. So Saunders will be the team to look out against Serendip. Serendip did manage to score 2 late goals against Police. They were trailing till the 86th minute in that quarter final, but very lucky to get away with a win. So Saunders will bring quite a lot of confidence in to the semi-final against Serendip later on tonight. And as it stands at the moment, we are just heading into the 72nd minute. A bit of pause in play. Bernard getting a bit of medical attention. But St. Mary's leading at the moment, and they will hope things remain the same. And they will be able to get into the final of the Champions Cup. Play does finally resume.
And when you're chasing a game, time seems to be going quite rapidly. Ashfaq Ayub trying to keep it in, but unable to do so. Not the best of communications between Rajavansha and Ashfaq Ayub. Around 16 minutes plus added time to be played. Goal scorer for St. Mary's, the skipper Maridas Darshan. Teasing delivery. Once again, follow-up effort from Maridas Darshan. The foot of that upright, nearly creeping through for that second.
A risky pass there. The back for St. Mary's almost gifting a chance to Java Lane. That's not what you want to do when you're ahead. It's again not the best of clearances, and a quick throw in taken by Farik. And brought down pretty harshly there by Lavani. So we'll have the second substitution for Java Lane. Derek Fernando will be coming out for Andrews Devas. Rick Fernando not having his usual impact on the game. He's generally the man to create quite a lot of opportunities from the midfield. Now Rizkan puts the ball into the box, but straight to the defender. Second attempt on the volley, cleared away again by John Lewis, actually blocked. So successful attempts, and referee Pushpa Kumar just getting a bit of confirmation and points to the corner flag, so it will be a corner for Java Lane, trying to take it quickly.
Harshana Sumudu. It's that ball in.
And once again, Java Lane not being able to maximize the opportunities that they've had. Now we are heading into the final phase of this game. Just 3 more minutes and we'll head to the 80th minute. And Java Lane will throw everything they have at St. Mary's. If St. Mary's manage to get that second goal, they'll definitely have the game. Once again, another foul by Lavani. He'll have to be careful. Don't want to get on the bad books, especially in these last few minutes. Getting a yellow card or a red card will prove decisive in this game.
Ball over the top. Bernard.
So again, I would say a missed out opportunity for Java Lane. Direction of the header not the greatest, but didn't have the pace you want as well to challenge Anikan. Even though he got the direction right, it would have been an easy save for Anikan. So St. Mary's will breathe a sigh of relief as they've been the team under pressure right throughout this second half. Java Lane have managed to get that spark they needed, but execution they haven't done it right. So Inca player down. I think Gumbari is down. Apologies, not Gumbari. I think it's Marison, but tough a wild shot there by Gumbari. Ball falls kindly for him, but not the best of shots from that angle. Rizkan giving away position. Now Lavani will look to get around 1-2 players, but Farid does very well to bring him down. Will he look to switch angles? No, he doesn't. Now finds Oluwale. Bounce bit difficult to control. Trying to find a new man up front. Rizkan, we've seen him take shots from long distance and also get those goals, but this time not being able to keep it down. So 80 minutes almost on our clock. Final 10 minutes and St. Mary's will hope that things remain the same, and they will be able to go to the final. And they'll fancy their chances against Saunders or Solid. Well, we've seen St. Mary's defense quite compact and tight, and Javelin have not managed to break free from that tight defense. Not seen the combination of Bernard and Oluwale, and also Derek Fernando not clicking today. So they'll be a bit disappointed in how they've gone about this game today. Think they might have considered themselves a team to go through. Now Oluwale does find himself on the ground. Apologies, Bernard finds himself on the ground, but Metabo just goes and it's a bit of a pat, so no issues there. And now a chance for Lavani, puts it over the goalkeeper, but my oh my, how close was that chance. That would have sealed the deal for St. Mary's if he managed to get that goal. Swakayub off his line. That ball not dealt very well there by Rajavansha. He's been guilty for a couple of mistakes. That bounce taking it away from the goal. Azad, I thought might have been an unnecessary boot. I thought he gifted them a corner, but luckily no such thing was done. But that was the chance. Lavani has had a couple of chances in front of goal, and a man of his caliber should be converting those. And three players on the right, especially Farik and Oluwale, but the pass not the best. And Javelin slowly but surely will break down. They managed to keep themselves composed right throughout the second half, but nothing coming off of it. 83 minutes now, and they'll definitely be the team with a lot of urgency. It's again that short pass to John Lewis. Not the best, and almost we've seen a couple of times where Javelin have come agonizingly close to intercepting that ball in that box. Not the best of clearances, but falls for St. Mary's. And Natasha not being able to clear that ball away. Actually get the pass right. Now pass to Oluwale at Metabo. Unit at the back for St. Mary's. So managed to hold the defense so far. And now St. Mary's will not want to replicate what the Police did in the quarterfinal last week, where they were leading 1-0 till the 85th, 86th minute, and then Serenity managed to get two late goals, one in regular time and then one in extra time as well. So St. Mary's, it's their game to lose at the moment, unless Javelin managed to create a moment of brilliance. Now Oluwale stepping over. Manages to find that ball through, but intercepted easily. Gumbari finds himself surrounded by a couple of white shirts, brought down by Andrew Devas. Referee Pushpa Kumar says no issues. So again, Metabo will be the man to deal with Oluwale. Now Azad plays it off to Oluwale, and it'll be a corner. Now Javelin, they do have a chance. Will this be the time they get that goal and demotivate St. Mary's, who managed to been able to hold out for 86 minutes. High ball in, and volley taken, not the best, but that is unfortunately for St. Mary's. They've literally gifted the goal there. Not the best of communication between the defensive line and the goalkeeper, and I think I might have jinxed it. Javelin have managed to score an equalizer here, and it is Andrew Devas, the new man in, who has managed to find the back of the net, and St. Mary's will be gutted, and especially Anikan. Think he's the man who might blame himself for that goal. Levani manages to get that ball away, and a bit of a volley, I would say, on that clearance. But Anikan coming up front, and Oluwale. Apologies, I thought it was the Newman Andrew Devas to score, but it's Oluwale who has managed to get the equalizer. And my oh my, now do we have a game on our hands. And the crowd here at Racecourse is going pretty wild here. St. Mary's now, like I said, it was their game to lose, and they definitely gifted an opportunity for this. I wouldn't say gifted, as Oluwale was right in the right place and fought for that ball as well against Anikan. But now, what do you say? We've seen a couple of games now that have had these last minute goals.
Anikan should have done better on that occasion. He had the clear advantage, missed it completely. And Oluwale, knowingly or unknowingly, mostly unknowingly, just hit his the ball hit the side of his head, and went past Metabo as well and into the goal for that equalizer. Looks like it's Bernard who is down injured. His right ankle. I beg your pardon, it's looks like it's Puneshwar and Abhishan. And the Javelin crowd has finally found their voice. And looks like they'll be heading into another penalty shootout, unless something happens in this next minute and added time.
Brought down fairly, does referee Pushpa Kumar says, and Bernard quick onto the ball. Now Oluwale finds himself. Andrew Devas. All of a sudden, Javelin with that edge. Now Oluwale loses out on position. St. Mary's will have to silence the Javelin crowd here at the Racecourse International Stadium. And yes, thought he was in for a chance. And there will be another substitution for Javelin. Rizvi Atik comes in for Abhishan. on our clock it says 90 minutes done, so there'll be 3 minutes of added time. And both teams, if they do not want to head for a penalty shootout, will need to find that goal in the allotted 3 minutes there. St. Mary's had it all right for them up until the 86th, 87th minute. Almost eerie, as this is like a similar situation in the quarter-final between Serendip and Police. But St. Mary's will be hoping that they'll be the team to come out on top rather than Javelin. I think it's a goal deserved for Javelin, as they've been the team that has dominated the second half. Now Bernard trying to lay it off to Farik. Intercepted by Jerinson. Now John Leas making his run through the middle. Once again cuts it back in, but no one to support. Madison was on the left with him as well. So now ball back with Javelin. Bernard on the right, trying to find Olawale. Will Olawale have the legs? Great bit of defensive work there. So 1.5 more minutes, and Javelin find themselves in their opponent's half. Now Olawale straight to the defender's face, and a shot taken from distance. Ashana Sumudu trying to find that glory shot, not getting the connection he needed. So ball now back with St. Mary's. Each team that has the ball, sure something exciting will happen. And now just under a minute, and Anikan, the man who was guilty of that mistake that gave the goal to Javelin, sends the ball out of bounds. So most likely we'll be heading in for a penalty shootout, and St. Mary's will feel gutted. Couple of more seconds now, 30 seconds. Olawale looking for the man in the middle. Ball does fall, and great attempt, but straight to Anikan.
St. Mary's are pushing for a couple of substitutions, but they're running out of time.
And a couple of more seconds now. Once again, Gumbari on the right. This will be the last chance for them. And dispossessed. And think it will be referee Pushpa Kumar who will blow the whistle after the ball goes over the line. Actually, we do have a little bit more time for play. So it will be a throw-in for St. Mary's. And St. Mary's trying to get substitutions in. Ruben Raj goes out, and John Kesley comes in. And Marison, who was good up front, comes out, and Arul comes in for St. Mary's. So 2 substitutions at the dying end of the game. And referee Pushpa Kumar blows his whistle. So Javelin will be the happier of the 2 teams, as they've managed to push this game to penalties. St. Mary's definitely will be feeling like they missed out on a victory here in regular time. But it was Javelin who was dominating the second half through and through, and they definitely deserved that goal. But Anikan will now have to make up for the mistake he made in open play and make sure he gets a couple of saves in the penalty shootout. He'll need to carry his team through. The crowd here at the Racecourse International Stadium is definitely loud. And a full support for javelin.
The advantage will be with javelin, having 2 rounds of penalty shootouts from their quarterfinal behind them. But then again, anything could happen. Saw another famous penalty shootout last night as well. Italy going against Bosnia and Herzegovina, with Italy being denied for 3rd straight World Cup final.
Well, we're just about to get things underway in this penalty shootout in the first semi-final. Javelin and St. Mary's ending 1-1, and the allotted 90 minutes they have. St. Mary's was leading till the 86th minute, and Javelin, after threatening on goal in the second half, they did manage to find the back of the net, and hence we find ourselves in a penalty shootout here in the semi-finals. So back-to-back penalty shootouts, like you mentioned, Navod, for javelin. So don't go anywhere, viewers, as we do have the penalty shootout just coming up in a couple of minutes. Referee Pushpa Kumara will give his little bit of words to the goalkeepers of what has to be done, just the basic rules, and just reminding the goalkeepers what they have to do. Be interesting to see who the first 5 kick takers will be for both teams. Did see a couple of substitutions at the last couple of seconds for St. Mary's. It was Arul and Kesley that came in. So sure that we'll see them take up kicking duties as well in the penalty shootout.
It will be John Lavani, who a couple of minutes earlier, before that equalizer, missed a golden opportunity.
And he does manage to convert the first penalty. So St. Mary's on the scorecard for now. Definitely huge crowd support for Javelin. Continuous chance for them. And it'll be Oluwale now to take the first penalty for Javelin. And Anika now will make the save, and he has brought St. Mary's back now into the game. Oluwale not being able to convert that penalty. So Anikan managing to make a vital save for St. Mary's. Now it'll be Danjuma Gumbari, who's been instrumental so far for St. Mary's in this match. Calm and composed, and top corner finish for him. So St. Mary's 2 for 2 at the moment. Sending Ashfaq Ayub the wrong way. Now Chawalin, the team under pressure. Anikan now will definitely be pumped up as he made that first save. It's always good as a goalkeeper to make a save in a penalty shootout. And that will put the opposing team under pressure. But now it's the captain, Harshan Asumudu, for Javelin, who will want to ease the nerves. Slot is in the back of the net. And he does just that. So still Javelin a goal behind. But a save from Ashfaq Ayub can bring Javelin back into this game. So far St. Mary's 100% record, and it will be Anikan who will take the third penalty for them. And he slots it in easily as well. So 3 for 3 at the moment for St. Mary's. And Anikan seems to be using with confidence after that save. Now Farik lining up, manages to slot it in. So 2 goals to 3 in favor of St. Mary's. So again, Anikan not going the right way, gone to the left now every single time. Now the goal scorer and captain of St. Mary's, Nidarshan, will want to make sure that he maintains his 100% record so far that St. Mary's have had. Slot the fourth one in and put the pressure on Javelin. And Nidarshan has missed the fourth penalty for St. Mary's. Hits the woodwork. And now Javelin will come back in with this missed penalty. Right idea to go the bottom left, but hitting the woodwork. So Nidarshan unfortunately missing out for St. Mary's, and a dejected walk as you can see on screen. Now the ever so confident Azad lining up. And Anikan did manage to get a hand on that. He'll be frustrated that he couldn't save that. Very lucky Azad. Anikan jumping just a bit too high when he came down, just trickling under him. So St. Mary's have to score. It'll be the tall built defender for St. Mary's, OK Metabo, to take the 5th penalty for St. Mary's. And bit of a stop there, and sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. And signalling to Ashfaq Ayub as well. He's saying he knew which side you were going. So again, Etabo slots it in. So St. Mary's now with the advantage as the ever so important forward for Javelin taking is a decisive and important penalty for Javelin. And does very well to slot that in. So the moment with the completion of the 5 penalties, we do have Javelin and St. Mary's at 4 also will continue. Now John Lewis for St. Mary's. Will be the 6th taker. And think the best penalty we've seen so far. Top right hand corner. Manages to get over a diving Ashfaq Ayub as well. Lovely penalty by John Lewis. Confidence and quite a statement as well, especially in a high pressure moment like this. If Javelin do miss this penalty, it will be St. Mary's that will go through to the final of this Champions Cup. It's been an entertaining game. Now Mohammad Rizkan for Javelin. And he has missed the penalty, and St. Mary's have managed to go through. They have beaten Javelin in the penalty shootout, and Mohammad Rizkan, not even a shot on target there. And St. Mary's can clearly see they are overjoyed. Pure happiness and jubilation for them. And they do deserve the win. Javelin have themselves to blame as they were lackluster in the first half, and the penalty shootout as well. Great save by Anikan, and now Mohammad Rizkan missing that shot. And my entertaining scenes here at the Racecourse International Stadium as St. Mary's have beaten Javelin in the first semi-final. It was a 1-1 at regular time, and the penalty shootout reads 5-4. Definitely exciting stuff. Captain Nidarshan would have felt gutted after he missed out on that penalty. And all credit to Tarang Pushpukara Sirivardhan as well for managing a tough game. Great scenes here, and when Oluwale is smiling, that's great to see. It's a game of football and you have to come and enjoy it as well. And Javelin, after a tough penalty shootout in the quarterfinals against Super Sun, not coming out on top this time. And they'll feel like they have themselves to blame, as they did not perform to their best in the first half. And the second half, they did show some sort of spirit, but not enough to get the victory in regular time. These are the highlights of the second half. That was early on in the first couple of minutes. Uluwale hitting the post, actually the crossbar, missing out on a chance that would definitely have put Java Lane on top. And Nidarshan here hitting the side netting as well. So St. Mary's did have just a handful of opportunities, but this one, Lavani missed out. That bounce taking it away from the goal. And this was the mistake that Arnikan made. Should have gotten to that ball or stayed back on his line and gifted Uluwale the chance to score that equalizer and go to penalty shootouts. But he'll breathe a sigh of relief as he is the man and managed to bring St. Mary's back up. And this is the penalty shootout highlights as well. And after a confident penalty by John Lawyers, these are the celebrations by St. Mary's. So as it stands, it will be St. Mary's that go to the finals, which will be played on the 5th of April. But today at 9 p.m, an exciting game between Serendip and Saunders. Saunders heading into the semi-final with quite a lot of confidence after Serendip just managed to scrape through. So do stay tuned when you log back in at 9 p.m. for an exciting game as well. But it is St. Mary's who have honours here in the first semi-final, as they've beaten a strong outfit, Java Lane, as they did have a lot of 11 players as well. And do come back for the game at 9 p.m. between Serendip and Saunders, and we'll wrap things up here for this first semi-final, and definitely see you at 9 p.m. Thank you and good night.